Yes and no. I'll be talking about the Tonys specifically here, but really it goes for all award show ever for anything. In every industry that there are awards for, we get so caught up in winning the awards and giving them out and who should get them that we don't stop to think, should this be a thing? And I'm not saying it shouldn't be a thing, but there are some inherent problems. Now, when I said about any award show ever, I guess if you were measuring tractors by how much tractor stuff they could do in a given amount of time, and you could quantifiably measure that, then I guess. We're talking about best actors, not best tractors. You have no idea how long I worked on that line. We're talking about awards for, like, entertainment and stuff. You know, entertainment and stuff. We're taking something subjective and making it objective. Like taking an album and saying, this is the best album, instead of, this is an album that is good, but over here, here's an album that is also good. We can't have just two good albums that just exist. They need to be quantified. They need to be ranked. How will I know which one to enjoy? So that's my first problem with awards, is that who can say what the best artist is? That question is meaningless. What? You could compare how each artist creates their art, but how in the world are you supposed to put two paintings next to each other and say, yeah, that one's better? The truth is that it will only ever be, yeah, I like that one more. And we're lying to ourselves if we ever get to believe that something is objectively better than another thing when it comes to subjective things. I'm getting heated. You can have an overwhelming consensus that a thing is better than another thing, which I guess is what an award is, unless people tend to disagree with that award, in which case it has no value to anyone whatsoever. Who decides what's best? I started out at like a 10, and I needed to build up there. I didn't intend to go there straight away. People are always going to have differing opinions on what their favorite thing is, and sometimes what they know is their favorite thing and what they think the best thing is aren't the same thing. No matter who wins the award, everyone in their own minds will have their idea of what the best that was. But okay. Awards are also about recognizing talent, recognizing people for all the hard work that they did. Which, okay, if you really want to acknowledge people's hard work, maybe don't pit them against each other, because there's only one spot. There's only one best actor in a musical. There's absolutely no nuance in it. There's no acknowledgement of, you person there, you portrayed this part of the human psyche and the human condition that is totally different from what this person's role was, which was an entirely different situation, but both of you were great. Because we might remember it now, but in the history books, only one name gets put down. And you train people to think that they're pitted against each other instead of training them to think that they're working together, which, especially in a place like theater, is the truth. That's what they should be thinking. You want to know why auditions are scary? It's because you're told you're competing for a role. Nobody in theater should be competing. That's not what theater is. It's not about competing, it's about cooperating. We are not enemies. Two actors can be good. They can be equally good. They can be good at doing different things. They can be good at doing the same thing. That doesn't mean that either one of them is better than the other. Maybe one of them just fit a role in a different way than somebody else did. You just can't put objective value on this. Okay, so 1, you can't put objective value on subjective things. 2, comparing what art is better or which actor is better is meaningless. 3, it leaves out equally talented people. 4, it pits people against each other that should be working together. And this is not even to mention that 5, they are not entirely accurate, historically. Leonardo DiCaprio didn't win an Oscar until The frickin' Revenant, and all he did in that movie was suffer. Are you gonna tell me there aren't a litany of amazing roles that man has had in his life? And that this is the one that stands above them all? Billy Elliot won over Next to Normal. Fosse won over Parade. Who remembers Fosse? Is that even a real show? The Lion King won over Ragtime. Phantom of the Opera won over Into the Woods. Lacage won over Sunday in the Park with George. Two Gentlemen of Verona won over Follies. What? Who does Two Gentlemen of Verona anymore? Who even knows that show? A Chorus Line, Chicago, and Pacific Overtures were all in the same year. Guess who won? It doesn't matter because they're all in the same year. Several Sondheim shows. You know, Sondheim, the dude who is regarded to be like God to the musical theater community? What on earth? And that's not even to mention all of the other categories. I literally do not have time to go through that list. Suffice it to say, it's more than a little bit arbitrary. Okay, so you're not just gonna get rid of awards outright. I'm not suggesting that. However, what can we do? Or rather, what can we mildly suggest while the people in power make no significant changes of any kind? One solution that the awesome website cracked.com, not sponsored, has suggested is having the Oscars happen 5 years after. With 5 years removed, it might be more possible to tell which films stood the test of time. Same principle with musicals, or with albums, or with things that are not tractors. Another solution might be to just acknowledge the people and not say that there's a best one of anything. That, hey, you're a talented bunch of people who did your jobs well. Have a great night. And that sounds kind of boring, but you would still have the show angle. You could still do musical numbers, but maybe they could, like, talk about the craft of what went into creating that piece of art. Maybe the actors could go into their preparations to assume the role. Maybe the set designers could talk about their inspiration. The costumers could talk about how they achieved the modernized yet still classic style that they were going for. What if, in short, we celebrated the art that we're celebrating instead of ranking it? Because ranking is meaningless. What if it was just a mashup of all the nominated shows? What if the entire thing was a musical? Oh yeah, there are also plays. Plays could do, like, an excerpt from them. You can do an excerpt from the plays that are nominated. You could have the actors do monologues from the plays that they're nominated from. You could do so many things. Award shows are just ads for the industries that are putting them on, so why don't you just make them ads for the industries that are putting them on? Well, I think I've ranted about enough today. Let me know what you think in the comments. There's a new video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, except this week because it's Tony week. And yeah, I do Tony videos because that's what my audience is interested in. And I'm still interested in it. I just kind of think it's BS. Also, you can do two things at the same time. Anyway, bye. I'll see you next time. Bye.